We're live. No issues. Woohoo! Didn't do it crooked. Well, hello everyone. And welcome to another shit show dumpster fire we call our podcast, Two Beards in a Pod. My name is Johnny Knoxville. And welcome to Jackass. Back to the shit show. we kind of did a little bit of a live break there. We're going to start doing some edits, make our show on the other end fancier. Woo! So, we can make Dan, look better on the other side.
Need a lot of that.
Yes. So, would you like to start our shout-outs for the episode, Dan, as you always do?
Sure thing there, boss. Thank you to my mom, Susan, for always watching and listening. Now that you figured out the YouTube app, you can listen while your phone plays a video while you're driving to work or from work or whatever.
Or she's really feeling froggy, she can watch us live.
Let's not get carried away.
Well, we'd also like to say thank you also to Ronnie Papa, the showstopper, Santa extraordinaire.
Santa RP himself.
Check out his Facebook page. If you guys need Santa for any of your upcoming events, by all means, the guy is a pro both inside and out.
And if I may also make an additional shout out, my father, George Egan, has been playing Santa for over 30 years. He makes you think that he's the real deal. Not just playing Santa, but he is Santa. And
hoping and praying we can both get both of them on one of our shows to actually talk about Santa.
That is the hope and the dream and the plan.
By the way, Dan, Santa's not real. And cut. Thank you. Oh, you came back, so you did know. He needs a moment, folks. So I'll do the last shout out, which is for our company, Spark Creative. Things have been a little on the Spark Creative side lately.
A little bit.
Trying to work on some new advertising, and if you need anything for your business, you could always spark the conversation.
We're trying to get that shit show together as well.
Yes. Hey. We're just flaming out both ends here. We don't know which way to run.
We're just throwing spaghetti.
Hoping it sticks, I don't want to play devil's advocate here.
Just breathe. Just breathe, Nick. It's okay.
Dan, I am breathing. I'm fine. I might throw you out a window, but it's fine.
I almost threw her out a window.
Anyway. So, today I'm going to open the show with a little bit of a joke. Did you guys know that Wawa has shopping carts?
What? Who uses them?
I hate to break it to some people, but do you know what you go into Wawa to actually shop for?
I'm pretty sure that most people who walk into a Wawa know what you're going for.
It's either cigarettes or you're coming off real bad hot. No, I'm just kidding. You're going home from work. I'm sorry.
Oh,
hey.
Not that kind of show.
Ask Dan all about his lunch subs at Wawa.
I went to frequent Wawa.
Yes, he's the Wawa guy. And nowhere in any of his visits, I think, could Dan ever say it merited having a cart.
No more than 3 items at a time.
He tried casing the ice cream fridge once.
Let's not talk about that.
He didn't want to talk about it.
It didn't work out.
All right, so
I had to sign a waiver.
You had to sign a waiver. He tried smoking once. Just once. The competition in weightlifting.
Hercules.
All right, so let's do some funny stuff. Dan, you said you wanted to talk today about beef jerky.
I do.
I'm opening the floor to you. Go ahead.
First of all,
glasses are coming off. This is going to be a discussion and a half. How about the weather?
It's just kind of expensive.
Okay.
For the amount that you get.
Which I understand, okay.
It's kind of expensive. And I get that it's a protein snack. There's no room for really filler. So you can drive the cost down more. But there's gotta be a way to get jerky to a point where you can make it less than $8 a bag.
Well, do you think it's the cut of meat, or do you think it's the flavors that are making it astronomically as expensive as you say?
Probably both. I mean, I'm not really one for super crazy flavored stuff. I don't need to have more than 2 words in a flavor. Regular plain beef jerky is fine with me. But I make a bag, $5, $6. Like, I'm not really wanting to quarrel over how good the product is. Like, I'm a vacuum, so it really doesn't matter what the hell, what kind it is, how good it is. If it's in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. I think everybody who knows me knows that.
Well, yeah, I mean...
But, like, the fact that a bag of beef jerky could cost up to $10 a bag, like, for not even a big bag, is a little concerning on my part.
Well, what do you suggest in lowering the price, then?
That I do not have an answer for, only complaints.
I have nothing but huge discussion on beef jerky. We're gonna make the bag smaller than my hands.
I'm just kind of bitching, because I would love to be able to just... I want the kind of money where I could buy a bag of beef jerky every day at lunch so I could have it in the afternoon.
You're a protein snack guy.
I want to find a snack that tastes good and that has the kind of protein that I want and need, because I'm not looking for some kind of stupid bar that's got like 5 grams of protein in it. 5 grams of protein is essentially a breath of air for me.
I want a snack that only tastes good, but I want it to make me, Dan Egan, feel good.
I'm looking like my favorite protein snack is Cliff Bars. I love those things.
You know, Cliff Bars are loaded with sugar, believe it or not. Someone told me once that it actually has as much as a candy bar, sugar-wise.
Yeah, it doesn't really concern me, because it just, I burn it off. I mean, I don't burn off the existing sugar in my body, but I burn off the new sugar that comes into my body.
So you're saying it's an off balance.
Yeah, but I'm a strong man, so nobody cares. I don't care.
Well, you know, what about some almonds instead? I heard almonds got a lot of protein. I don't know. They're not as expensive. We're talking about the less expensive alternative.
I would need a larger container of almonds to make any bit of difference.
He's going to start growing almond trees in his front yard. Give me my lunch.
Damn it, I want a snack.
Can I get a beef jerky tree?
That's the next $1 million idea, a beef jerky tree.
You know that's astronomically impossible, right?
Someone tweet Elon Musk, man. Like, can't be that. Like, yeah, even Jeff Bezos, Elon, somebody.
We'll pause the game there before we even get into that. You're going to talk to him about making a beef jerky tree. Have you seen the Cybertruck that Tesla's supposed to be putting out?
I don't care what it looks like.
What is that? What is that? Where's their truck?
It's getting us ready for the Boogaloo, man.
Listen, that thing doesn't even look like a truck. It looks like something a 4-year-old draws when they think car.
Have you seen the memes?
I've seen memes. I've seen memes about it.
It's really funny.
It's not even a truck, though.
It's something.
It's something.
It's something there.
It's got 4 wheels. It's got a motor. You know, it's
got 4 wheels and a running board. It's the Scout song. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. This is not the place for.
Shut up.
No, not today. No.
Literally the place for anything.
Yeah, you know.
Literally the place for anything.
So I hope everyone out there is already enjoying what we're talking about.
Woo!
Does anybody have any opinions on beef jerky?
I just want it to be. I don't even care if the current market stays the same. I'm somebody to make a product that is cheaper than the current market corner items.
Well, welcome to vegan product.
No.
Just no.
It's like cauliflower bites. Stop it.
Cauliflower tots.
Whatever. It's all
Buffalo.
It's
cauliflower tots.
It's all cauliflower.
Cauliflower rice.
Yes.
Did you see that, speaking of, since it's just Thanksgiving has just recently passed, did you see the people that took cauliflower, like the whole top of a cauliflower, and tried to make a turkey substitute out of cauliflower? Essentially, they just roasted the bulb part of it, the whole top, with certain seasonings, and they called it the vegan turkey alternative.
They're doing a whole lot of work to make something that isn't meat look and taste like meat. Yeah.
Just eat the meat, damn it. Just eat it.
Or accept the fact that you don't eat meat. Like, I don't know.
That's right. You eat your vegetables and you be sad. Always be sad.
Be healthy and be sad.
Though asparagus is very good. I do like asparagus.
I don't have much against asparagus.
I had someone, who was I talking to today?
The whole point behind my beef jerky complaint is I just want cheaper beef jerky. That's all I want. $6 bag of beef jerky.
So write that down, ladies. Remember, he likes his beef jerky thin, sliced, spicy, and preferably jerked. All his beef. I gotta really stop going for the cheap penis jokes.
At least you're good at it. Sort of, kinda.
It's alright.
Not really.
Well, speaking of things that are astronomically expensive and make no sense for any of us in this current state,
Yes.
I wanted to talk today about minimum wage versus the living wage. So currently, in the state of New Jersey, it is $10 an hour for minimum wage work.
Which is honestly news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had no idea. But the thing is now we're currently on a plan by the governor, who will not be named because I hate his guts.
He's not huge.
He plans to raise it $1 at the beginning of every calendar year.
One dollar.
Until it reaches $15. So January 2020, it's going to go up to $11 an hour, $12, $13 until we hit $15.
Woo!
Now, my question to you is, because I had this kind of discussion with myself in my car, and I really should stop doing this because I just get aggravated, my blood pressure goes
And
up.
I said stuff, and I recognized my voice because it was me.
Hey! When you say the term minimum wage, should that not mean that that should be able to afford you some kind of personal living on your own? Because I feel like when you say minimum wage, to me that should say, okay, minimalistically I could afford a place to live. I could afford some kind of transportation, you know. Because if you say minimum wage and you just say, it's enough that I could breathe and wake up every morning, I feel like that's really not minimum wage. I know it's not very often we have a very serious discussion, but I've kind of been grappling with this since they've done this adjustment to minimum wage, but it's still really not fixing anything.
Well, I'll tell the audience at home what I told you in that text, as you guys, hey, I'll tell them what I told you in the text message. Like, the reason why things are so out of whack is because our currency got taken off of the gold standard decades ago. It's not backed by gold, which is what made our money worth something. I don't know what the hell it's backed with now, but it's really not
It's
worth...
probably based in digital ends because realistically gold...
Well, what made our money worth, or made our currency worth something was the fact that it was backed by gold.
But why gold though? That's what I don't understand. The standard of the world maybe, but nothing really says, you know, this is why gold is the most... It's just because people chose gold to be the most expensive thing. There's not necessarily...
So. Gold is worth some of the most money in the world.
Correct. But what I'm trying to get at is why was that standard set?
I don't know why the gold standard was the thing, but that's when our money was the strongest.
Right.
I don't know what president took it off of the gold standard, but like...
It was Nixon, I believe. Nixon took it off.
The money became worth less, and stuff became more expensive. And between those two things, wages became stagnant or increasing at a less than a snail's rate. Like, there's a poster in my dad's office from one year where it said like the minimum wage is gonna go from this number to this number, and like the number was like $4.25. So I think it was like a decade ago, maybe like 11, 12 years ago or some shit like that. But the fact that a minimum wage, and also a minimum wage, like there has to be a list of criteria that explains why it's a minimum wage. Like what is a minimum wage? What should a minimum wage cover? What should that mean? Like, does it mean that when you work a job at a minimum wage, you can afford to pay for some sort of transportation, some sort of living arrangement, some sort of basic living expenses, like groceries and gas?
You would think for someone coming out of school like how we are right now, I mean, we're a few years out, but, you know, we're in that way.
In the grand scheme of things, we're kind of still fresh out.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. The thing is, shouldn't minimum wage entitle you to be able to afford what you've put out to go to school already, as well as some kind of living for yourself?
Like minimum wage has sort of an implication, in my opinion, that if you work a job for a minimum wage, that means that you probably don't have a whole lot to offer the marketplace or the workforce in terms of skill, or at least in terms of like general skill or a marketable skill.
So you're saying minimum wage equates to minimum skill?
Yeah, I mean, that's why high school. That's why like I'm gonna sound kind of like a boomer.
Here it comes.
Get ready,
see his
folks.
hair turning gray.
That's already starting. That started like 5 years ago. That's why
back in my day.
I will never mock somebody if they have a job. If you have a job, that's great. That means you're contributing to the workforce. But it's gonna sound the way it sounds. A McDonald's fast food job is meant for a high school kid. It kind of is. I mean, they all like I don't know what they offer. Like the Lakewood Wawa right by my dad's office is hires at $11 an hour. That's $1 less than I make. And like for like obviously there's like a flat beginning level of entry job for McDonald's. I don't know how skill intensive that is, but I can't imagine it's a whole lot. Not that my job requires a whole hell of a lot of skill level, although it kind of does sometimes. But like, I see arguments for like there should be a maximum wage. Like you should only be able to like there should be a number that you should get capped at, which I don't agree with. Like if you our generation hates him. Most of our generation hates him, but Jeff Bezos. Like, Amazon started selling books. Now it's a conglomerate. Almost has them in almost its own nation state.
Say what you want about Amazon. I mean, I'm going in the same vein as you, so I'm just kind of pitching it out to everyone out there. The guy makes a lot of money. His company makes a lot of money, but it's all self-earned. I mean, you could talk about how much he pays in taxes.
And it's like you can say like in like the whole like working condition and like wage offering, but like the dude creates jobs. He creates value. He creates jobs, and he creates goods.
It's not really. I mean, people might disagree with me on this, but realistically, the conditions and the places really aren't his fault. He has people running those things for him. So, I mean, of course, in the end, he's a shot caller. I mean, when you're the owner of the company, but how much can you control as one person,
Right. But like, the whole how much you should make. There's no number how much you should make, because like every single person has a different living situation. Like,
right.
And plus, like, if you wanna make more money in life, you gotta go find a skill that's worth making more money for. Like,
neither of us have those.
Well, like we have something like I'm a graphic designer and you're a marketing guy. I mean,
neither of us have those.
Well, then what the fuck did we go to college for?
I don't know. We're still here, aren't we?
Full circle. The whole
Hi.
thing.
Has anyone subscribed to our Patreon?
Whole big empty circle. Yes, please subscribe to our Patreon. That we're not gonna make.
That Dan will never make.
The whole the debate for how much somebody should make to be able to live. It's kind of up to you. Like you have no matter what. It depends on what your skill level is. Like if you there's so many different variables to mention in the argument that there's no straight answer to say.
I hate when people suggest that there should be a tax on people that make over $1 billion or something like that. Is it the millionaire's tax or the billionaire's tax? I think it's a billionaire's tax.
Probably both.
They want to tax people based on it because poor people don't make as much as them. Essentially, was what it is. Because we should all care about everyone. But the thing is, the people 9 times out of 10. I'm not saying all of them, because there are some people that were put into some kind of position of either wealth or power that obviously should not be. We're not going to get into any kind of political discussion here, but I just wanted to say that people should not be taxed they should not have to pay additional taxes, based on how much they make. The thing is, if they choose to work that hard and put in that much effort, they really know what they're doing, should they really have to pay much more than everybody else? Just because you choose not to do something a certain way, or...
It's like taxing anybody over 30% of their income is ridiculous, in my opinion.
I mean, shit, I pay more in freaking taxes than I still make anything back anymore.
The problem, this is this is a little bit of a political comment, but it doesn't matter how it doesn't matter. Fuck.
It doesn't.
Doesn't matter how much you tax people. It matters how much the government spends. And right now, our government is horrible at spending money and borrowing money.
That's true.
Our debt is in the tens of trillions. Like, taxing the hell out of Jeff Bezos isn't gonna fix that.
No.
Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not if you tax him. If you tax him forever, that might not. If you tax him before, but yeah.
But the thing is, too, you could tax all these people as much as you want. That doesn't guarantee the.
You know what happens when you tax rich people? They hide their money. That's why they don't do it. They're rich enough to hire somebody to be like, hey, put your money here. They won't touch it.
Write it off here. Do something. We're business owners. We know.
Yeah.
If you want to do something.
If you can write something off, you're going to write something off.
Correct. The business is essentially a living entity. That's what it's considered under the
tax code. If you can spend something on, like, 2011, my dad's business did really, really, really good. And his accountant was like, dude, spend some of that shit. Spend it. Get rid of it. So we bought a brand new fucking truck. Brand new truck. And, like, that's what you do. Like, if you have a surplus, the government doesn't like it when you have a surplus because it means you made too much money. It means you have
then
money.
You have to pay them back for whatever reason.
Yeah. So you get rid of it. That's not going to dull libertarian part of this whole thing. You spend it.
That's it.
Like if we have the opportunity to use Spark Creative's tiny ass profits, we do.
Exactly. I mean, but realistically, we're still at a point where, and I mean, I think probably it goes for most businesses though. It goes back into spending for the business. Yeah. It's not like we're going like frugal and it's like, let's just blow it and go on vacation. It's
stuff that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of the problem is with a lot of the businesses nowadays. And aside from the fact that living wage ain't coming down to anything affordable anymore.
What needs to happen is that that currency needs to be worth more.
There needs to be an equilibrium. Because you could raise minimum wage as much as you want. This is the problem I have with these people that are coming into power now.
If the currency is worth this much over here, and the cost of living is over here, no matter what the hell you make, it's not going to make it.
Every time one goes up, the others are going to go up. I mean, the thing is, you could raise minimum wage as much as you want. And that's what I was trying to say was, that's why I hate when the powers that people are electing into office just objectively decide, let's raise minimum wage. Well, do you plan on doing anything to lower the living wage? Exactly. Because if you raise minimum wage, guess what? All the costs that go into everything you buy, everything you spend, all the stuff you do is going to go up. Because guess what? Now you have to pay all the people that do those things more money to do so.
If you make money and then you're like, man, I wish I made more money today, and you want to buy a gallon of milk, and you can barely buy that gallon of milk, you're like, man, I wish I had more money so I could buy 2 of those gallons of milk. If the government enacts a new wage and your boss gives you a raise out of, matter of fact, everybody else had to do that. So that gallon of milk that you couldn't afford 2 of, now that's more expensive. So
now the one costs as much as 2.
So now you make more money, but that gallon of milk costs more too. So now you can only still buy 1 gallon of milk. It didn't fix anything.
Right. That's the thing that I think that people don't understand. Raising minimum wage is great, but if there's no objective balance to it,
we're not economists, but that's just how it is.
Right, and this is kind of the thing I wanted to say. Like, we don't agree really with either side of the political spectrum.
We're not. We are like, I consider myself a libertarian. I think you said that you lean a little bit in that direction too.
I'm right of center, but I'm not like crazy, like religion and everything. People.
It's just like both sides do not know how to act with each other. They don't even know, like, the current party's status quo doesn't really know how to work within their own parameters either.
Right. Listen, we're not saying the big guy up there is exactly the best one. We may make jokes about him and do his voice and everything, but I don't think everything he does is 100% on, nor do I think any of the people running this year are 100% on.
No president has ever been 100% on, no matter how, like,
right.
Don't root for a president like you would for a sports team. Like, he does not care about you. No. The president just doesn't.
Right. He's doing whatever the lobbyists and the people that align with his party essentially want him to do. Or her.
And if you are a fan of a politician, like a sports team, yeah, you might want to rethink a little bit about how your philosophy is.
Right. There's no such thing as a perfect politician. There are people that could probably get it right a good percentage of the time, but, you know, the thing is, a lot of people don't try to put their own opinions into things anymore. They just go with whatever party they want to align with, and they agree with everything they say.
And the politicians just, they toe the line of whoever bought their power.
Right.
Like,
and I think that's kind of what kind of the breakdown's been with the generations that we're growing up with now. I mean, you know, you got the stereotypical boomer who, you know, everyone says, you know, oh, they destroyed the economy, you know, that. They kind of did. I hate to say it, but they kind of did.
I don't really have a comment after that.
No comment.
I'm like, they're just kind of like, baby boomers are just kind of, they don't really have a complete grasp on how the modern world is. Like, that, your opinions are your opinions, but like, that doesn't keep them from being antiquated.
Right. The thing is, there are some older ideas, I guess, that could still hold true in today's, but...
The sentiment of it.
Right, the sentiment behind it. The thing is, people have to be more open interpretation, because the thing is, technology nowadays is way different from 50, 60, 70 years ago.
You can't just say that you don't like technology, because it's pretty much the way it is. Technology is part of everyday life now. And to extend an olive branch to the baby boomers, our generation, the millennials, aren't all that hot either.
No. There's a lot of
millennials that have just like an idiotic mindset.
There is such a thing as being too
the extremist boomers and the extremist millennials were both banging against each other, and we're just in there like, okay.
Do you want to listen to it? Okay, no one's gonna listen. Okay.
You can't stop. You're gonna lose a knife trying to get in that middle of that fight. You can't stop it.
No, it just, the thing becomes is that there's always going to be extremists. I just think it's wrong for millennials to generalize the older generations and the older generations.
You can't just paint a broad stroke across anything.
Right.
You may hit a bunch of them, but you're not gonna hit all of them.
No. There are always going to be people that are willing to understand and listen to what's going on, but at the same time, you know, don't think that the people who speak loudly speak for the whole.
No. The loudest ones are sometimes the most wrong ones.
So, Dan, who fucked this whole thing up?
Generation X.
You think Generation X did? Our parents did it. They ruined it.
I don't think our parents' part of Gen X ruined it, but like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's hard to say. It's hard to pinpoint the exact moment in time when shit hit the fan.
Right.
Stupid Snapchat.
Oh, hey, nudie pictures?
Oh, I wish.
I guess this conversation kind of took a different turn, I guess, but I think it's an interesting thing to kind of keep in mind.
One thing I would like to just get off my chest, dear baby boomers, there's no such thing as pounding the pavement when you go look for a job. You can't drive up to anywhere and say you want a job and try to speak to the manager. It doesn't happen. They're going to tell you to go online. You know how? Because that's what I got told.
Listen, anywhere you go nowadays, if you say, hi, I'm here just to apply for a job, the first words out of that person's mouth are going to be, well, did you apply online?
And you're like, no. And they send you back out because that's how you do it.
Because it's a whole thing now. They background check you online and everything, and it's just... There is no more...
There's no such thing as just as having a paper copy of your resume,
no.
Handing it to a manager, and having a handshake and a conversation.
Nope.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Sometimes you get that with the older people that work in businesses, but you still have to abide by the new rules that are created.
Right. One time, I was expressing disconcernment to my grandparents because I still go on long stretches of applying for graphic design jobs, and like I was talking about it one time, and they were like, "Well, have they tried just pounding the pavement?" And I said, I kind of like did a little, and I was like, that doesn't happen anymore. And I explained to them the whole modern outlook because my grandparents are retired. My grandmother's 77, and my grandfather's 83. Like they retired a long time ago, and when they were part of the workforce. That is how you did that.
That was everyone back then.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I just went, I'm like, it doesn't happen anymore like
back
that.
then they thought smoking was good and butter lubed up your arteries too. I mean, you know,
Are you saying it doesn't?
No, it doesn't.
Damn it.
Sorry, Paula.
Damn it. 2 things I was wrong about.
Yeah, quit smoking.
Smoke. You smoking yet?
Smoking's just bad all around. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Smoking the reefer.
Smoking the reefer. Snozberries taste like snozberries.
You boys like Mexico? You want to segue on to the next subject there, kid?
Sure. So,
right.
We're actually towards the end of our show, as our teleprompter says. Our wonderful teleprompter that's in front of us. Dan originally said he wanted it to be a picture of a naked woman, but then it said he'd never get anything done, so here we are.
I still haven't got anything done.
What?
I still haven't got anything done.
What?
What?
So, in the next coming weeks, we hope to have a Santa Meets Santa episode.
Woo!
There'll be a lot of candy canes and jolly spirits, I hope.
Lots of ho-ho-hoing.
Kind of Christmas Dan wants. We should also make an honorable mention of Dan's current house painting project. How's that going, Dan?
My parents want to redo the paint job in my parents' house before the holidays and before the annual Agan family Troop 61 Scoutmaster holiday party, where 24 people come over to my parents' house and have a nice time. And it really just isn't working out for anybody.
Dan's going to take all the new scouts in the backyard, show them how to smoke the peace pipe.
There's no scouts of all this, it's just leaders.
Oh, okay, so you take the leaders out back, show them how to smoke the peace pipe.
They can do that on their own.
Hey.
And it's just like, I'm not going to air the dirty laundry of the current situation on the podcast. There's no need for that.
We both know what's going on.
What do you know? As I told him. That's not for the podcast, though.
No?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, as always, we are going to ask that you guys follow us on YouTube. We have many of our shows up on YouTube.
Smash that like button and subscribe, guys. But, don't. Or whatever. If you don't want to, we don't care. Although we would love it if you did.
We'd appreciate it if you at least checked it out.
Please?
Views make us kind of happy.
Please clap.
It's the best Christmas present you can give us, honestly.
You don't have to give us anything but views and listens and likes and subscriptions.
If you subscribe, it would make Dan's whole day. And God knows that's hard to do.
Not really, but it would be a good idea. It would be super.
And if you guys don't subscribe and or watch our YouTube ones,
It's gonna find you and tell dad jokes.
no. Dan's never,
And nobody wants that. I don't want that.
Dan's never gonna get laid.
That's not nice.
Well, that's what happens.
I don't think that takes any extra effort on anybody's part.
Well, anyway, in order to close up this show, as always, my name is Billy Bob Thornton.
I'm Johnny Knoxville.
Thank you for watching Two Beards in a Pod, and remember, guys, Dan, you're still single. Have a good day.